And hello future champions, here we are looking at my second game from the Prague Chess Festival. First game was a draw. Today I'm playing a talented young Indian guy who is 8 years old. So, let us get into it. He goes e4, I go d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, e5, take, 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 take. Okay, I decided to leave my king in the middle, but I do get easy development. My pieces come out to natural squares. He goes bishop g5, which is a line. Here you have many tries for white. You can go now f3, you can go bishop c4, you can go f4, you can go whatever you like. He went bishop g5, I go bishop e6, he goes knight f3, which is slightly imprecise. Better to castle long and then go f4. This is the most testing line for white, or for black, depends. Knight f3, knight d7, castle long, king c8. I do not play a move like c6 because I would be hit by knight takes c5, making use of the pin on the d file. So, I go castle long, just had king c8, bishop b5, which is a bit of a suspect move, because I just do c6 and I activate my king, also controlling the important central square. He goes bishop a4, I go bishop b4, pressuring the knight that defends the pawn. He goes bishop takes. If he were to play something like h3, I would take on c3 and go knight takes c4 with an extra pawn and a winning position. He goes bishop takes, I take with the pawn. Slightly strange decision, but I open up my g file and my structure in the center is very compact. So, he goes bishop b3, exclamation mark, alright. I go rook g8, take, take, g3, take, take, and king c7, stopping the entrance of the rook.
How did you evaluate this position?
I evaluated this position as being slightly better for me. Slightly better, no risk. And now it's just play, and if you put the right pressure on white, he will make a mistake sooner or later. If he doesn't, such is life. If it's like the last game I played against 95% accuracy, by the way, the accuracies for this game, I had I think 94% accuracy, and he had something like 87. Right, so I go king c7, he goes knight d2, I take away the square, he goes rook e1, knight b6, knight b3, knight a4, pressuring the pawn. He goes rook e3, I go rook d8, he goes rook d3, which is supposed to be a mistake, and here goes c5. It was better to take on d3 first, go c5, and after rook f3 to just go c4, going for a concrete line. What do you think about this?
I'll be pretty sure to win this because I got the opening file also. Compared to the variation, I mean, if you play here c5, after the exchange of rooks, it's still better for black obviously, but you do not get an open file. It's just better to keep a rook, probably. I would not be so sure to win this against a strong opponent, but as the opening play so far, I think I should not have that many problems because it did not demonstrate knowledge of design game, and a leader player always know design game very very well, as Samuel did.
Thank you, Gabri. So okay, he goes rook d3, I go c5, aiming for a fork. He goes rook takes, take, and we enter this endgame. Here I'm not going to risk anything, I will never lose this position, more or less. And I am pressing my opponent. He goes king d2, I go king c7, g4, which is a good move. Trying to grab space on the king side. King b6, activating my king. Knight c1, preparing to remaneuver the knight. a5, knight e2, and b4. Okay, takes, I take. He goes h4, still grabbing space He defended quite well up to this point, I would say. He played decently. Yeah. King c5.
I saw
King d3.
before the engine suggest about in this position move c4. What do you think about this?
c4, it is logical. It is logical. I probably would have taken. Honestly, I would have taken and I would have seen what would have happened. He could have played maybe knight a5 or knight... Oh, knight a5, there is knight c6. Okay, but knight is... knight c3. Here we enter...
Interesting, yeah.
We enter concrete territories.
Yeah.
Very concrete territories. But...
Should be fine for black. I mean,
Yeah.
you got the pass pawn, the...
I'm up a pawn for now, so
yeah,
it's
and
fine.
pawn, A and H pawns are the best with knight games because the
With
knight
distant
is a
pass
slow.
pawn.
Yeah, distant pass pawn is a slow piece to move. I mean, you get to the other side of the board with 3 for 10 piece. It's not like a bishop, so you want pass pawn.
An outside pass pawn.
Outsider.
Yes. So okay, he goes king c. I go king c7. He goes g4, king b6, knight c1, a5, b4. Trying to get the square for the knight and trying to activate my king. He takes, h4. I go activate my king. King d3. I go king b5. Preparing the jump to c5 with a knight. I'll show you the square I mean. He goes c3 and loses the game.
Why is this a mistake? So much. It loses on the spot. What happens?
Because of what I played. I go knight c5. Now he either defends the pawn or loses it on e4. He went king e3 defending the pawn. And I played b3. And now it becomes clear. I managed to create an outside pass pawn, which we were talking
A
about.
killer.
Yes. A killer pass pawn. Knight takes king d3. Check again. King c2. Otherwise, if he goes king e3, I go
That's
knight b3. Oh, okay, even king c4 or push the
just
pawn.
push the pawn. It's good.
Yeah, okay. So here I just have this very far away pass pawn. So he has to go king c2. I take and now I'm a pawn up. So first part of the job is done. Now we just need to win. He goes f3. I go knight f2. This move I thought about for quite a long time. What I didn't really like, yes, but what I didn't really enjoy about this position was that on knight c5, he can try some f4 ideas. And if I take, he takes with a knight, and maybe he has knight h5. I don't know. Knight f2 felt like I'm stopping his activity, and I can always go e4 if I want, but I can also go king c4 and
really
knight
good
d3.
I'll put an exclamation mark on that.
Yeah, but the position is winning anyway, so...
Yeah, chess.com doesn't care about
Yeah.
how good the move is, how
Okay.
difficulties get is it what the computer thinks about it. So it's just that. That's the reason it doesn't name an exclamation mark, but deserve it.
Yeah, so here I go e4, and you might say, what are you doing, bro? You're losing a pawn, bro. What are you doing? If knight takes, pawn takes. White has 1, 2, 3, 4 against 1, 2, 3, 4. What have you done?
Oh, interesting. E5, all the move.
Yes,
All the move.
yes, because otherwise, I'd seen this, because otherwise he pushes e5
Yeah.
and creates an outside pass pawn. Let's see. If king c4, he goes e5. And actually wins this position because he has the 2 against 1. Now he's the one with a far away outside passed pawns. So I would have gone e5 though. And now I'm winning because this pawn is far away. Let's give you a sample line. Let's say my opponent plays g5. I take. Now he can play maybe king b3. Oh no, it's my turn. King c4, king b2, and now I will simply push my pawn. And he will have to
Yeah, you win everything. Yeah.
stop
you get all
it.
the pawns and just win.
And yeah, I'll just win.
Yeah.
Pass pawn outside. Always guarantees a victory. So, he takes with a pawn because of this. And I go, knight takes pawn. Now I'm still a pawn up. And his knight activity is blocked. He has no counterplay on my pawns. He goes king b3. And here I decide to go check. King a3 and king c4. I leave him this outside pass pawn. In exchange for king n3 and winning the game.
At this point, you may even win this with stockfish, maybe.
Maybe yes, maybe yes. Knight e2, here I go e5, which is a slightly technical move, but it simply stops his knight from moving. He goes king takes a4, I go king d3. Now he could have gone knight g3, but he would have lost after king takes, king b5, king d4, king c6. I just come with my king and I'm quicker. My knight defends the pawns.
Yeah, very well placed.
So he goes c4, trying to cheese me, trying to get the pawn rolling without my knight coming back. But here I'd calculated the line, knight f2, c6, knight takes, and I'm just in time to get to the d6 square. He goes c7, I go knight d6, king b4, f5, king c5, knight c8, king c6, f4, king d7, and here I always have knight a7, and he takes lots and lots of time.
Time to resign.
Time to resign. He didn't, he played till checkmate, but we will stop the game. Here, I will queen.
But no.
I will queen and I will win. So, okay, an interesting game. Not that difficult game. Of course, I took my risk in a certain sense of going into this end game. Let me just show you. Because if you don't win this position, then you think, okay, I should have kept more pieces on the board. I should have played with a more active opening. But in the end, after 20 moves, he had the lost position. So it worked out. I will say goodbye today, and I will soon come and show you my third game from this tournament. Cheers!
How is it going?
That we won't spoil it yet. We won't spoil it yet for our friends. All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Bye.